Marlene Hutchinson, and welcome to Tips for Guitar Playing Success. As many of you know, I've been sharing my guitar playing tips every Thursday for more than 8 years. It's been my way to hopefully help you stay motivated, be inspired, and continue expanding your guitar playing journey. If you're interested in more learning resources like my Thursday Tips blog, my DVDs, books, virtual learning, and more, go to my website, marlenesmusic.com. And for anyone who's listening and feels like you're missing out on all the fun, you can easily join our wonderful world of guitar with my Learn to Play Guitar in a Day program, which you can also find at marlenesmusic.com. Now on to today's tip. Today's tip is getting rid of string buzzing. You know, it can be so annoying to be playing your song and then hearing a buzzing sound from your strings, right? In fact, you might be saying, well, what's happening? Why am I getting this buzzing sound? It could be due to a few things like how hard you're pressing on your strings, the action on your guitar. It also could have to do with your strumming. So let me go through a little bit of information about each one, and then you can detect, hopefully, where your string buzzing is originating from. So let's start with the pressure on your strings. Another way to put it is, how hard are you pressing on the strings? When not pressing hard, you can get a muted sound or a buzzing kind of sound. You might notice it more on the thicker gauge strings because they're harder to press on, but you could find it on any of the strings. And you might also notice that one finger or another is a little bit weaker and may not be pressing as hard. It can be checked by playing each pressed string in a chord and playing those strings individually. Sometimes, and even without even realizing it, we press harder on one or two strings and less hard on, say, a third string. As an example, on the D chord, your third finger might not be pressing as hard as the other ones, so you'll need to make the adjustment on that string, and then hopefully that will eliminate the buzzing. Next, I'd like to discuss the setup or action on the guitar. The action is how far the strings are from the fingerboard. If the action is too low, the strings will buzz a lot. It's a pretty simple fix though, but one I would recommend that you have a professional take care of. They know the appropriate adjustments to the nut, the saddle, and the truss rod. By the way, conversely, if the action is too high, it's usually harder to play because you have to press harder to bring the strings to the fretboard. Another area to consider when checking for the buzzing or when making playing modifications is the pressure you're putting on the strings when strumming. We tend to hear the buzzing more when we strum, so I recommend that you notice how much pressure you're putting on the strings when you strike them or strum them. It's important to know and take a look at the area that gets the first amount of pressure from your hand when you strum them. Typically, it's those strings like 6, 5, and 4. If they get a ton of your energy when you strike, then they will likely buzz. So the antidote to this issue is to strum a little less heavy when you first strike the strings. Alternatively, you could roll slightly off those first strings that you strike, and then that might lessen the buzzing sound. You might also consider trying a thinner gauge string, perhaps one step down from your current gauge. The thicker strings will be closer to the fret bars and fretboard, and so they may tend to buzz a little bit more. Now, it might take a little trial and error to figure out what's going on with your guitar, but if after you've tried the playing adjustments I've suggested, particularly having to do with the pressure on your strings for your chords and strumming, and you're still getting the buzzing sound, then I vote that you take action on the action and visit a professional guitar repair person so they can make any adjustments that might need to be made. I hope this episode's tip has helped you to continue expanding your guitar skills and knowledge. If you'd like to learn more, check out the many learning resources available at my website, marlenesmusic.com. Thank you for joining today's podcast, and as I like to say, play on.